Karibuni sana, Money Talks Clinic. We are happy to have you on board. We are going to be having 2 sessions today. We'll talk about a roadmap to personal financial management. We're going to talk about how to make money. Secondly, how to grow the money. And thirdly, how to protect the money. That is part 1. In the second part, part 2, we are going to talk about a bonus that we have for you, a treasure chest. This is a wonderful tool. We're going to be showing you how it works as we move along. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Kenon Bae. I'm the co-founder of a company called Mwalimu Biashara. Your Financial Partners is a part that deals with personal financial management. I am a qualified accountant, having crunched numbers at Kenyatta University for 4 years and graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce accounting option. I later on did my MBA at Strathmore Business School. I have studied ACCA to give me the professional look of an accountant, and I'm a fellow of the Chartered Certified Accountants of the UK. I've also taken a CISA qualification. These are Certified Information Systems Auditor. I have worked for over 20 years in various fields, talking about ICT, done some work in hospitality, financial services, and now I've settled for SMEs and individuals. In terms of interest, I'm a budding angel investor. If I see a business that I'd like to invest in, put in my time, my effort, and my money, I will put it there. I have mentored business, having worked with Founders Boost and Integration to help young people whose businesses are taking off. Personal financial management coaching is a passion that I have, and that is why we're here, just for you to get a taste of how to manage your personal finances. I do youth mentorship and I enjoy music and sports. From a family perspective, I am married with 2 daughters. Now, what is the purpose of this slide? This is not a slide to brag. This is a slide to show you and to give you the assurance that we have prepared well to serve you in the personal financial management space and also in finance in general. So you're in very good hands. Even as we start off this webinar, would encourage you, if you have any questions along the line, please put them on the chat. We should be able to talk to you as we move on. So we've talked about 3 things. Make more money when you talk about a roadmap to personal financial management. We're talking about how to grow money, and lastly, how to protect money. These are the 3 areas we'll be looking at in the next 20 minutes or so. Each of these areas has 3 subheadings to help us understand and have something that we take home. We will make it as interactive as possible. We'll ask you to be talking on the mic or probably putting something on the chat. Let us work together. All right. Money does not grow on trees. We are now into making money, and the first thing you're looking at is money mindset. Please go to the chat, and if you've heard this statement before, please type yes on the chat. Have you heard this statement before? Money doesn't grow on trees. Let us see who has heard this statement. Money does not grow on trees. On the chat section, Brenda Mogaka has heard that statement before. Who else has heard this statement? Money does not grow on trees. Caroline Kitumbui, Edith Wabwire, thank you very much. Joyce Wakarima. This is a very familiar statement. Amos Kim, Jacinta Kamu, all of us have had this statement, and these are already 5 people in a room. Anad Dakan, you confirmed that you've heard this statement. Maybe we can request one of us, maybe Jacinta Kamu, if you don't mind. If you can go to your chat, Jacinta will be asking you a very simple question. Just tell us in what context have you heard this statement, money does not grow on trees. Jacinta, if you can hear me, please switch on your mic and share with us. When you heard money does not grow on trees, in what context did you hear that, Jacinta? Jacinta, come on, if you can hear me.
Good evening, everyone.
I'm not sure whether Jacinta is hearing me. Maybe we can talk to Brenda Mogaka. Brenda Mogaka, you can just switch on your mic, please. Tell us, you told us in the chat that you've actually heard this statement before, that money does not grow on trees. In what context, Brenda Mogaka, did you hear this statement that money does not grow on trees?
Thank you, Kenan. Good evening, everyone. I think this statement, most of us have had it before when we were younger, especially from our moms. When you want to ask for money, or you
I'm sorry,
have,
Brenda,
for
let
example,
me
in my case,
just make a small adjustment on my volume so that I can be able to hear you. Just give me a sec. I increase my volume here. Sorry, Brenda, I might have to ask you to give us that answer one more time. Let me just increase my volume here. There we are. Okay, Brenda,
now?
yeah, now we can hear you. Let's hear.
Yes, I was saying in my context, when I was younger, my mom usually, like, that was a very common statement from her, telling us money does not grow on trees. When you want to ask for money, or when you have relatives giving you a few coins here and there, she will be the one taking them and telling you money does not grow on trees. So when I hear that statement, I just remember my mom when I was younger.
Super, super. Thank you, Brenda, for that good answer you've given us. I see Caroline Kitumbui on the chat is saying, she's saying in the context that you have to work towards earning it. Thank you, Caroline. Oh, Jacinta is here. Jacinta, we had asked you earlier and you've actually brought it on the chat. It was in regard to financial management and how to manage the funds available. Excellent. This is the first point towards making money, our mindset. What we have been told in the past, the experiences we've gone through, the education system, the support systems, the people around us, all have either told us things that help us towards making money, or unfortunately might be deterring your capacity and your potential to make money. So the first part, or the first step towards making money, is to make sure you have the right money mindset. Convert those things that you've had in the past into something positive. So that is point number one. We have to start with the right mindset. Point number two, a gentleman called Robert Kiyosaki has written a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which we are borrowing from this day. So all credit in this context goes to Robert Kiyosaki. But we've taken his model and we've used it to help us understand the second part about making money is having multiple streams of income. And how does that look like? You can either make money as an employee. So you wake up every morning, clock in, and you give in your time for you to get money. That is wonderful. And those who are employed would know that for you to succeed in employment, it's your ability to climb the corporate ladder, for you to get promoted, for you to get more experience, or even change jobs and go into a better job. That is the first way that you make money. But there are other ways in which you can make money. Second one, according to this model by Robert, is you can make money as a self-employed person. Now, this is more or less like the employed person, but here you're actually doing a lot of work. You are a jack of all trades. If there is a tax report to respond to, you do the responding. If there's a customer complaint, you deal with it. If there is an office to make sure that the admin matters are in place, that is you we are going to call upon. The self-employed person has the autonomy, has the independence, has the control, but suffers a lot because you need to be all things to all men. But just like the corporate, the employee part, you make your money by giving your time. There is a third way in which you can make money, and that is by owning a business. Now, I'll take this opportunity to differentiate between being a business owner and being self-employed. Being a business owner means the business can run with minimal intervention. You've been able to put together systems that get the business running. Take an example of someone who is employed and is running a small grocery shop near their estate. They can employ someone, make sure the supplies are done as they're in the office working, and that is a business system. Success as a business owner is your ability to spot opportunities and execute on them. You're able to take in the factors of production. You know who's going to give you the capital. You know the labor. Who are you going to employ? In your small kiosk, you get someone who's able to sell those vegetables well. So that's a third way in which you can make money. And business owners can be in very big fashions, not only a small grocery store, even people who run big organizations. That is another way to make money. Lastly, you make money by being an investor. You have some money and you want to invest that money somewhere so that you can get something in return. We'll be talking about investments later on in this webinar, but this is the fourth way to make money. Now, this model is one way which gives us a basic idea. When you say you're making money, how do you manage to get multiple streams of income? Third way to make money is watching your spending habits, because it is more important to have money left over. It doesn't matter how much you earn. What matters is how much you keep. Let's take this example to help us see a good way to look at spending habits. This is a phone. It's an Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max. Please help me on the chat section. How much would you pay for this phone? If you're to buy this phone today, an Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max, let us see on the chat section what are some of the estimates. How much does this phone cost? Let us get a few. 200,000 shillings. Anad Dakan would pay 200,000 shillings for this phone. Good. Let's see a few more responses coming in. I have this phone to get a price for it. It's an Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max. If you get 3 more responses, we proceed on to the example. But another started as of at 200,000. Purity Sikuku would give it 150,000. Caroline Kitumbui would say 250,000. I like these answers, and I see we are quite on point, and we have a good direction in terms of around how much this phone would cost. But work with me. Think about someone who's earning 200,000 shillings today. And assuming they're an employee, that means they pay taxes of 52,000 and they take home 147,000. Now, this is typical. This 147,000 shillings will be used for very many things. They'll use it to pay their rent and fuel their cars or pay school fees. If you take this amount on a daily basis, it becomes 4,921, which is 147,617 divided by 30. So this person on a daily basis takes home 4921. Obviously, later on, when you want to look at this on your own, you can look at your own income levels and see how much you take home. This phone actually costs 269,000 shillings. If you wanted to carry this phone with you, you need to part with 269,000 shillings. But that is the price. The price is common to all of us. But look at the cost. If this person was to decide to work only for this phone and they're earning 4921, they will end up working for 55 days for them to get this phone. That is the 269,000 divided by 4921, spending habits. Today, as we leave this webinar and we're thinking about making money, look at expenses from this perspective. How much does it cost you? You can use the same example for your rent. You can check how many days do you need to work to make your rent? How many days do you need to work to get the wig in your hair? How much days do you need to work to fuel your car? When you look at things from this perspective, you realize that making money is affected a lot by our spending habits. We have finished making money. There were 3 points there. If you're taking notes, the first point was mindset. Make sure you have the right mindset around money. The second one was having multiple streams of income, and you've had a model that has shown us these streams of income. And thirdly, watching our spending habits. Good. So the first part about roadmap to personal financial management is sorted out. Now we are going to growing our money. How are you going to grow this money? The first point around growing money is to manage your debt. It's important to manage debt. Now, debt can either be good, bad, or ugly. The good debt is the one that you get and you put into a project that is going to give you more. The bad debt is the one that you take and unfortunately you consume. It does not produce anything more. The ugly debt is the one that you take and not pay. That will get you into all sorts of problems. But let's look at someone who's gotten 1 million shillings to pay over 5 years at 18%. If you do your math, the bankers in the room can check this for us, but you've already checked this is working well. They pay 304,000 shillings every year. If you look at how much you're paying for that debt. What happens when you pay 304,000? The bank divides that amount into two. They split it between the principal and the interest. Principal is the same a million shillings you need to pay back people's money. So in the first year, you're paying 135,000 shillings as principal, and 169,000 shillings goes in as interest. And it goes on and on that way. So in 2026, at the end of the 5th year, you are paying 276,000 shillings of principal, and you're paying 27,000 shillings of interest. The interest you pay in year number 1 is very high, but as the debt goes on, the interest you pay reduces. This is typically how debt operates. Watch out when you want to top up your debt. Can you imagine you've paid all this amount, all this time, and you've gotten to a place where you're just paying 73,000 shillings of interest in year number 4? When you top up that loan back to a million, and there's nothing wrong with topping up, this session is just to create awareness. You go back to the time you're paying 169,000. Ideally, manage your personal financial management life such that at one point you will be debt-free. We want to avoid these 523,000 shillings in our lives. Okay, thank you, Edith. You're confirmed that you can hear me. Step number 1 in growing money is to manage your debt. Let's go to step number 2. I want us to go to the chat section and write for us, how much do you spend on lunch? Just lunch. Roughly speaking, how much do you pay for your lunch? Let us see a few comments on the chat. And we're not talking about that special lunch or when you're taken out by the organization. I'm talking about the day-to-day. Kevin spends 250. Vincent spends 200. Anad gives us 200 shillings. I like this the responses coming on the chat. Please speak to me. We are about 30 in this webinar. Please make sure at least you post something on the chat. I have Edith who does 200. Joyce Wakarima 200. Good, good. No, it looks like 200 is a common factor. 0. Irene carries from home. Irene, I like that. You carry yours from home. You've been able to manage that, Irene. Sharon 100. Peter Ngubesi 280. I like the precision. Peter is 280. I believe that has even taken care of a drink if you need one. But let's use 200 shillings for simplicity. If you spend 200 shillings on lunch, and we're not asking you not to take your lunch, if you're able to save an equivalent of 200 shillings a day, it means per month you've actually saved 6,000 shillings. The equivalent of your lunch money comes to 6,000 shillings a month. Take that figure for a whole year, it actually goes to 72,000 shillings. Question, do you see why it is possible to actually take a holiday every year? 72,000 shillings is enough to help you take a holiday. You book an SGR down there, get an Airbnb in Mombasa. They go for about 6,000, 7,000, and there you are. Just saving your lunch money is enough to have you get a holiday every year. So what is it about savings? It is making savings a lifestyle. It's an intentional, consistent way of putting aside some money. Of course, we talk about an emergency fund. This is when you're able to survive for 6 months. If your income ceases to come in tomorrow, how many months can you survive? That's where the concept of an emergency fund comes in. Ideally, we talk about 6 months. Now, saving is a lifestyle, and a way to grow your money is to develop a savings culture. This is what gives you the capital. This is what you need to actually go out there and now go to the next part, which is investing, because we say, do not oversave. After you've saved enough, you have your emergency fund in place. It is time to go to the next level of growing money, which is investment. The most common question we've had in our experience, people always ask us, what is the best investment for me? And we tell you the best investment depends on your goals. It depends on your objectives. It depends on your age. It depends on your risk profile. There are so many things that go around what is the best investment for me. But there are so many options out there. In the next slide, I'll be showing us a few of those and taking you through how much you can make from each of them. In summary, we'll be talking about today. They are scams. If you're not careful, if a deal is too good, don't lose your caution. Make sure you listen through and see if the deal is too good, watch out that it's not a scam. Now, where do you start? We have a table here that gives us the indicative returns. If you put money in the bank as cash or deposits, if you put 100 shillings at the beginning of the year, for a whole year, when we say the approximate return is 2 to 4%, what it means is that the bank will give you an extra 2 shillings to 4 shillings out of the 100 shillings you put in the bank. Of course, I've seen some banks have come up and they are even becoming bold, and we can see rates going to 8%, which is extremely good. But the first thing to see is we've taken an indicative. If you put your money in real estate today, you'll get between 7 and 20%. That depends on whether it is a residential property, whether it is commercial, whether it is are you going in alone, are you buying a rate? It will range between 7 and 20%. When you put your money in a unit trust today, you get between 7 and 9%. Treasury bonds and treasury bills will give you approximately 9 to 12%. There's a whole range of that. I know recently we had the government floating infrastructure bonds, very attractive investments. I saw even 14% at one point, but here we are talking about an average. If you put your money in shares in the stock market, you get between 5 and 15%. There are other startups, there are others which we call Jua Kali here in Kenya. People get 30 to 100% from the investments in the Jua Kali. And the latest one, blockchain, cryptocurrency, can give you between 50 and 150%. But this is half the story. When you're growing money, it is not just about how much you're getting. There's also the concept of risk, and I'll be talking about that in the next slide. We cannot finish talking about growing your money without talking about compound interest. Take an example, you've inherited rental property, a country that is currently fetching 20,000 shillings a month. Now this weekend, you have a family meeting with your siblings and you intend to educate them on how much this family kit will have after 5 years. So work with me with this example. It will be very good to show us the power of compounding. Now, if you look at what you call a starter level, you have 20,000 shillings coming in every month. It comes to 240,000 shillings per year. All right. If you put that in an investment that gives you 8%, and from the slide you just come from, we've seen that is possible. Treasury bills will give you this kind of thing. For 5 years, follow me closely, 240,000 shillings per year for 5 years is 1.2 million if you take a calculator. But because of the power of compounding, your money grows. You'll actually get an extra 207,000 shillings after 5 years of putting that money from the rental property or even your own money. This is the power of compounding. It's very important. Now, it becomes more interesting when you go to the next level where you're thinking generationally. Think about your ability to put aside 20,000 shillings only for 30 years. Now, the figures start to become very interesting. The amount of money taken on a calculator is 7.2 million shillings. But from the power of compounding, you get an extra 19.9 million shillings. When you talk about growing money and you hear people are saying money is working for you, it is a consistency in the savings we've talked about, and you put it in an instrument that is going to earn you some money, and you become consistent, deliberate, and be patient. We can go to another level. You team up with 9 friends. If you're 10 of you, you're able to put aside the same 20,000 shillings a month for 30 years. Here we're talking generationally. it means you put aside 72 million shillings. But wait a minute, look at how much you get from compounding, a whole 199 million shillings. When you hear people say generational wealth, this is how it looks like. A very important part of growing your money is the power of compounding. We are done with the second part of growing money. I know it was a mouthful, but I'm going to get us participating in a short while. But what have we done so far? We have made money. The first point was making money, where we said your mindset. Second thing, multiple streams of income. And thirdly, watch your spending habits. Second part about your roadmap to personal financial management was growing your money. And we've looked at three things: managing debt, having a savings culture, and the power of investing and compounding. We are on to the last step of protecting your money. I'd like us to go just on the chart. I will tell you something before we go to the chart. There is no single investment that is risk-free. You cannot put your money somewhere and be 100% sure that things will go the way you want them to go. So then, does it mean we don't invest? No. It means we invest with the concept of risk. This is extremely important in protecting your money. You balance the return you're getting versus the risk. And here we say the key thing about protecting your money is understanding risk. Now, understanding risk is not a matter of fearing it, because sometimes people start saying it's not a very pleasant thought. I don't like it, it's uncomfortable. But we say your ability to anticipate, to prepare for the impact and likelihood of bad surprises protects your money, right? This slide shows all the investment returns I talked about. And as you can see, there are some that will give you a very high return, like the blockchain and venture capital, alternative investments, Jua Kali, but the risk is also very high. So as you're investing and protecting your money, you need to be aware that making wealth is not just the return, because that's a mistake most people make. Nitapata pesa ngapi? What am I going to get from this? Forgetting that you need to be aware of the risks that go with that. Let's go to this other section. Maybe just go to the chart section and show us one thing. Let us know, what is the best age to retire? What is the best age to retire? Let's take a few answers on the chart section. What is the best age to retire? Let's see. A few of us. What is the best age to retire? Because this is part of protecting your money. And I'll be talking a little bit more about this as we protect your money. Anad, thank you very much. Very swift on the chart all the time. We appreciate that, Anad. You'd retire at 50. Purity Sikuku, you also go for 50. Peter Ngubesi, 45. Oh, it's getting better. Sharon Rono says, 45, I am done. Let's see, I see we are about 35 in the room. Let's get more engagement here. Brenda Mogaka, 45. Caroline Kitumbui, 45. John Mwenge, 45. This is a common one there. Kevin Otieno, you want to retire at 50. Jacinta Camo, you want 50. Wow, interesting. Felix Licano, 50. Amos Kim, 65. Amos, you're the first one to cross the 60 age mark. But this is very good. I want to show us one way to protect your money is to determine the best age to retire. This is not a matter of age. Retirement is not a matter of age. Retirement is when you have put sufficient investments that are able to give you the income you're earning today. The example I gave of someone earning 200,000 shillings when we started the webinar, that person needs to have investments that are giving him or her 200,000 shillings a month. If you can get there, then you retire. So in terms of protecting your money today, we are redefining retirement. If you're able to do that when you get to the 50, 45, all the ages that we've had there in the chart, target to be able to have made enough investments to fund your desired lifestyle. Of course, desired lifestyle here we're talking about the income that you earn. As you think about protecting your money, prepare for retirement from that perspective. Whether you're employed, whether you have a business, whether you're self-employed, or if you're making investments, target to retire at that point. I have one more point to make about protecting money. Then we'll go to our bonus section. The last part about protecting your money is being aware of your environment. Okay, the environment that you live in determines how you protect your money. I'll give an example. Today, if you look at what inflation does, already we know inflation is about 8%. If you put your money in a bank account, you get 2 to 4 shillings. Inflation takes away 8 shillings from you. So this is very important in protecting your money. Make sure you're putting your money in investments that are higher than inflation. If inflation is 8%, make sure you're earning 9% and above. If inflation is 7%, make sure you're earning above inflation, because real wealth comes from investments that help you beat inflation. Let's talk about the role of government. Today, if you earn 100 shillings, roughly speaking, income tax in this country is 30%. So from 100 shillings, 30 shillings goes to taxes, you're left with 70 shillings. Left with 70 shillings, you go to the shop, you want to buy bread, you want to fuel your car. All these, most of the expenses attract VAT at 16%. So from your 70, 16 is gone. You are around 54%. So for the 100 shillings you started with, 46 has gone with the government. When you go buy your airtime, there's something called excise duty. When you want to enjoy your beer or you want to enjoy your cigarette, all these things attract excise duty. It means another 3% goes out of your pay. For every 100 shillings you have, the government takes 50. Now, this is not meant to fuel any political side. But when you're talking about personal financial management, it's important for you to be aware of your environment. So if it's about voting, vote the right person in, because these are the people who are going to determine how half of your earnings are going to be spent. Okay, if you have a way of influencing wherever you are in your sphere of influence, you're able to influence how government is run through the laid down legal procedures. Please go ahead, because it affects you and me personally. So we are done. We are done with the roadmap to personal financial management. The first thing we've done is making money. I'll be taking questions. Please put them in the chat as we conclude the first part before we go to a bonus, as I make this summary. Money, mindset, multiple streams of income, and watch your spending habits. The second one, when you go to grow your money, manage debt, develop savings as a culture, and invest and enjoy the power of compounding. And lastly, when you're talking about protect your money, understand the concept of risk. Prepare for retirement. We just redefine retirement in a new language. And thirdly, be aware of your environment. So this is the end of the first part of our webinar, a roadmap to personal financial management. We are happy to take any questions, any comments. I see Anada started us off with a question on the chat section. If you have questions, please throw them in. We'll take 5 minutes of lessons and be able to go to the next part. Anad is asking whether Forex trading is part of blockchain investment. Anad, I'll quickly differentiate that. Forex trading is where you buy currencies. You can buy Uganda shilling, you can buy Tanzania shilling, you can buy US dollar, you can buy Japanese yen, and you're buying that currency, hoping it will become stronger. So if you today the exchange rate of the country in the dollar has actually gotten to even 140. Let's even use 140 for simplicity. If you want to buy dollars today, and the dollar's at 140, you can buy at 140. But if that dollar rate goes up to say 150, and you want to sell the same dollars you bought, you're making 10 shillings for every dollar you bought. That is Forex trading. Blockchain investment, another team, is where we are using a new technology to be able to solve our problems. Basically, blockchain means we all agree on how to record our transactions. Okay, you record your transaction, all of us get that updated transaction, all of us get to know what another has done. So it is a way in which it's a shared ledger. There are no more secrets anymore. And how you can get involved in blockchain investments, one would be doing what we call buy and hold. You can buy coins, and there are thousands. There are so many coins, but it's basically trading in coins. You buy a coin at say 1,000 shillings, wait for that coin to get to 2,000 shillings, and you sell it. So you're trading in currencies. Now, Bitcoin is a currency just like dollar, only it is a virtual currency. Usually, that's a subject that goes very wide before we get all questions answered, but I hope that has given you the first response. Sharon Rono, under investment, there is this part under investment, there is this part of listings. What does it mean? I will take you back to that slide, Sharon, in a short while. Peter Ngubes is saying, is it safe to invest in cryptocurrency now that it is not regulated? It is a related question. Let me take us back quickly to this slide, and it will answer that question here. When we talk about investments here, and we are saying it is listed, what listed means, governments regulate how things go. When you say it is listed, it means the government is regulating how unit trusts are operated. It goes in and says the people doing unit trust, these are the rules, and they watch that you don't break those rules. If you break them, there is a problem with the government. That is what listed means. When you say something is not listed, it means, yes, you are in a contract. Yes, it is okay to trade, but the government has no oversight of what you're doing. If you go into real estate and you lose money, you can't go back to the government and say, Serikali's idea. That is a transaction that you're doing with your peer out there. And the question also that came about blockchain, it is not regulated. So a question whether it is safe to invest in blockchain, a lot goes into that discussion. Usually in a webinar like this, it's difficult to say yes or no. It is so many things that you need to take into consideration, right? So we'll be welcoming more questions to come, even if it's on the chat. But let me take time now to take us to the bonus. We have a bonus for you today. This is a tool we've developed called Treasure Chest. Please take out your phone, take out your laptop, take out your tablet. If you're in a desktop, please type programs.mwalimubiashara.com. I want to show you a tool that will help you manage your finances. Are you living within your means? Where does your money go to? This tool will be able to help us get there. So please, on your phone, I'm going to give us about a minute or so. And now we have our IT team in the room today. Dennis is in the room. If you have any challenge, please put it on the chat. Dennis will be able to pick it up and help you very quickly. Thank you, Gladys. I see you've already put the chat on the chat. That is what we are logging into, programs.mwalimubiashara.com. If you manage to go through, please write yes on the chat. I will also switch on mine here so that you can do it together. Programs.mwalimubiashara.com. As soon as you get there, please type yes. Let us see. All right. Programs.mwalimubiashara.com. I want to log out so that we are all on the same page. Okay. So when you put programs.mwalimubiashara.com, this is a secure site. As you can see, we've made sure it is very well protected. Your data is safe. Everything you put there is safe. We have adhered to the government controls around data handling. So we are governed as data controllers. So when you get here, it will become something like this. The best thing to do is to log in with your Google account. It is the fastest, or your Facebook account. So when you go to programs.mwalimubiashara.com, you click on Google, and log in with any of your accounts here. Once you manage to do that, please go to the chat section and say yes. It means you'll have gotten to a place like what I have on the screen. I will give us a minute. It is programs.mwalimubiashara.com. Do we have any yeses on the chat? As soon as you get there, please type yes. Let us see who manages to get there. I'll be taking about 5 minutes to show you how you can manage your finances. Now, this tool that we are going to give you today, we have a wonderful bonus that goes with it. But for now, we are just simply taking time to demonstrate to you our bonus tool today. Vincent, Daddy, thank you very much. You say yes on the chat. Once you are able to log in, please let me know. This is an important part, so I'm going to be patient and give us some time to be able to log in. Vincent, you confirm you managed to log in. Once you log in, you'll get to a page like I have on my screen here. Let's see who else is able to log in. We want to move together. It is programs.mwalimubiashara.com. Vincent is successful. Let us see who else manages to log in on this. Are you going to pay anything? No, there is no payment. We're not asking you to log in so that you pay. We are very clear that this webinar is free of charge. We just be demonstrating to you. Should you want to invest in it, that is a later discussion. Thank you, Kevin Otieno. I see you've managed to log in. Let us get a few more people logging in. I see we are 37 in this room. We are 37 on the in the webinar. If you're at a position to take your phone, take your tablet, take your computer, and go to programs.mwalimubiashara.com. Brenda Mogaka, thank you very much. You're logged in. Jacinta Camo, wonderful, wonderful. Why are we asking you to log in? We want to make this practical. This webinar is more than just giving you theoretical information. We want to see that you actually carry something with you today that is practical. That's why we're giving us a few more minutes to log in before I demonstrate how this one works. Then you should be able to follow through with your own gadgets. Thank you very much. We have 4 people who've logged in. Thank you very much. We want to give a few more minutes for us to go to programs.mwalimubiashara.com. Right. So we have only 4 people. We are 37 in this room. I'm tempted to give us a few more minutes to log in because it's important. It's important. Caroline Kitumbui is not yet successful. I mentioned that Dennis is in the room. Let us know the challenge you're facing, Caroline. But let me also go back and show us one more time what is expected of us as we log in on this. Once you go to programs.mwalimubiashara.com, I want to show you what you will be facing. You will get to a page like this one. Once you get here, you click, you can either go the long method of logging in and signing up, but the best and easiest way would be to go through Google. Since I see we only have 9 minutes on this webinar, I will go ahead and demonstrate what I wanted to demonstrate, but we are going to stay on after 8 o'clock because we are sensitive of people's time, and we'll sit here and go through the treasure chest together. So point number 1, for those who've managed to log into the treasure chest, what does it help you do? The first thing is you can set your goals. So on the left, if you go to what is your goal today, for those who've logged in, just go in and select a goal. Maybe your goal is to buy a house. All right, you pick your goal there. What is your target amount for buying the house you want to buy? Let's say it's 15 million shillings as an example. How long do you target to achieve this goal? Let's say you want to do that in 10 years. I know there are people who want to retire early, so let's say 10 is okay. When you click on calculate savings, the treasure chest does something for you. It gives you a savings plan. If you're able to save 2,797 shillings per day for 10 years, you can buy your house cash. That is important. If you choose to do it on a weekly basis, then put aside 19,630 every week. per month is 85,065, and per year is 1,000,000 shillings, 20,784. Treasure Chest helps you do that. You can set your goals and make it very easy and breaks it down in a way that you can do it. There is a small figure that comes up here depending on what you get. You stand to gain approximately 4,792,156 by placing this money in a money market fund. If you remember the example I talked about 8%, this is it. When you get into a savings plan, put your money where it is growing as you wait to reach your goal. So point number one that the Treasure Chest helps you do is to set your goals. Let's go to point number two. I will show us something here. You can always reset your Treasure Chest in case there's a problem. If you look at mine here, when I go to inflows, all right, it shows me some amounts here. So let me knock it down to 0. I can reset my account here and make sure that I have no figures as I start off so that I can be able to demonstrate here. So when you go to your inflows, what does it say? How do you make your money? Assuming you earn a salary of 100,000 shillings, okay, and you earn that every month. You're expecting to get a bonus, say, of 50,000 shillings at the end of the year, so that will become annual. And let's say that that's all you have on employment income. It goes back to employment benefit. Maybe you have a benefit which you get, say, 3,000 shillings as a phone benefit in your organization. You get that monthly. And of course, you can see all the other benefits that you get can be listed down here. If you're in a family setting, you can put the same income for your spouse. But let's take yours running a business, which gives you about 400 shillings on a daily basis. There we go. You can update it. And assuming you have some investment income where you are actually expecting rentals of, say, 15,000 or say, let's say 60,000 shillings every quarter. What are we doing here? We are adding your inflows. The Treasure Chest enables you to list your sources of income. And as you can see, look at what has happened. It has listed all my sources of income. I suspect I must have keyed in the wrong employment salary. You can always go back and edit it and say, actually, it is 100,000, not 1,000,000. Then you save your changes and you are good. So it means that's where you are right now. When it comes to the outflows, you can go in and map out your entire outflows. When you say, for example, how much do you pay for your rent? You pay 45,000 shillings every month. How much do you pay for utilities? The shopping, the utilities is electricity, gas. Maybe you pay 9,500 shillings every month. Groceries, when you go shopping, how much do you make? You spend maybe 5,000 shillings on the basic needs on a monthly basis. Notice you can key down every expenses as you spend them. You have a house help who comes to clean, you probably give them 800 shillings on a weekly basis. You can key in all the other outflows in the same way. If we talk about, say, you have dependents, maybe you have children, you pay their school fees, which you pay 50,000 shillings every quarter, all right? You can go to mobility. Maybe you fuel your car, you fuel, say, 3,000 shillings every week. The Treasure Chest enables you to make this real for you. You pay insurance of, say, 50,000 shillings every year, and so on and so forth. What are we showing you today? This is a tool that you've developed that's able to help you live within your means. It helps you set your goals. It helps you manage how you spend. And here you are, you have your PDF report here that you can carry and shows that this is how you spend. Your inflows, there you are, 139,000. Your outflows are 426. Already you're living above your means by 287,000 shillings. The Treasure Chest is a bonus we have for you. And I want to go back to my presentation to show you a few other things. We have an offer for you. This Treasure Chest, we sell it for 2,500 shillings. You buy it once, you pay that money once, and you keep the treasure chest for the rest of your life. You'll be able to set your goals. You'll be able to do your inflows, do your outflows. You'll be able to, it even has a place where you can manage your lump sum. That is the bonus we have to you. We'll be showing you shortly how to get these treasure chests. But you go to programs.mwalimubiashara.com. It is there for you. We are going to be selling it at not 2,500. We'll be giving it to you at 1,800 as a bonus for attending our webinar today. So if you pay 1,800, when you go to pay, it has a place where you put, you can put a coupon. Okay, there's a coupon there which you can put and be able to enjoy that prize. We'll be sharing with you how to get this some more. But I want to close by showing you what else we do. All that you've talked about, we run personal financial management classes, right? We take you through a detailed analysis of each of these topics. What I touch on today is a very light version. And because of time, we are not able to go in depth. But if you sign up with us, we go through it one by one. Our product, I've already talked about the treasure chest. It's automated, it's confidential, it's secure, it's professional, it's portable. You can carry it wherever you want to go with. It is like buying one meal for life. You pay 2,500 to get it for life, but for you, you pay 1,800. We'll be sharing with you a coupon which you're going to put there and you pay 1,800. We also do this for organizations if it's a group of employees or chamas or families or churches. We come and do this for groups of people. We are NITA certified. It is to mean that for the employers who are here, we can come and empower your employees to be able to get the best version, and you can get NITA refunds. We've not forgotten our children. We have programs for children. There's one coming up in April. I'll be sharing with you the details. So for 3,500, we help your children get an understanding of personal financial management at a very early age. Do you sometimes wish you had the financial literacy at an early age? This is what we're trying to solve. We have an introductory product which goes for 7,500 in partnership with Kidato International School. We give you just a nicely done comprehensive understanding of your personal financial management. These are 5 lessons, and for 7,500, we are able to help you go through the roadmap I've talked about. Remember how you were excited when you're expecting your first salary. So we talk to young professionals, people who are starting off in life. We help them take off at the right footing. That's a product for them. This goes for 15,000 shillings, but you pay 5,000 one month, 5,000 second month, 5,000 that month. And as you're starting off your career, we're able to help you. Things like Sherehe, we help you Sherehe na Mpango, smart budgeting, the questions that have come around Forex trading and cryptocurrency. We deal with the topical issues when talking to this group. The Money Talk series is a flagship product, goes for 45,000 shillings. But again, we always allow installments, 15,000, 15,000, 15,000. But imagine the convenience, the confidence, and that feeling that comes with having your entire personal financial portfolio wrapped up beautifully together. Clients who've taken up this course have come back and told us it is the best investment they have made in personal financial management. This is accompanied by the tool that I've just shown you. All our programs are automated. You end up doing it using the tool. We've not forgotten our seniors, people who have retired and they're thinking about how to consolidate their finances as they approach their golden years. This is something else we do. It goes for 30,000 shillings, but you pay 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Let me say something about money. Of course, this money will help us pay our rent. But more than that, we are interested in helping you. We want to help you change your money behaviors. That is what we do. And clients who've worked with us, Miriam was afraid to look at a bank account. She now knows how to spend her money well. Agatha joined us and she stopped doing budgets and she started connecting her spending with the future of her family. Edward walked in, debt-ridden, and he says this program was an eye-opener. Ngesa came in and said the classes were intense. In fact, in her own words, the one-on-one sessions made her cry and panic. But she went ahead, took the right steps, and now she's a very happy person today. Francis is a family man who says he was not understanding where his money was going to. But after taking our course, he's able to nail it down together and see where everything is coming from. We are Mwalimu Biashara. We have a whole profile. You can check us out at mwalimubiashara.com. You will see what we do, and our contacts are out there. I will stop here. I will thank you so much for taking this time to be with us, and we are happy to continue engaging with you as we help you plan your personal financial management. I will take this session back to Melissa, who will be able to wrap up for us. I know we've taken slightly over 8 o'clock, so we apologize for your time. We should be able to close in a short while. Thank you very much for your attention, for your participation, and hoping to see you soon. Asanteni sana. Bye-bye. Over to you, Melissa.
Thank you, Kenon. If you look at the chat section, I've shared the details of the coupon. So we invite you to engage with the Treasure Chest platform. And just to let you know that even before you make the payment, the platform allows you a few free transactions for you to try out and get familiar with the platform and see what the benefits are. So we allow up to 7 free transactions just for you to see how it works. And as Kenon mentioned, we'll remain after we close this meeting, so that if someone is interested to for us to take them through the treasure chest, we can do that, or any other question that you may have. But as Kenon mentioned, we are conscious of time. So once you log in and you're interested to buy, please key in the coupon as Kenon directed, and then you'll get your offer. We've also shared on the chat an evaluation form that we'd like to request that you fill out. It's very short. It should take you about a minute or two. And this is very important for us, as it helps us to improve our content, improve our facilitation for future webinars and sessions like this. So I want to thank you so much for joining us. I think Kenon had 1 or 2 comments to make. In the meantime, as you listen in, we request that you click on that link to the form and you give us your evaluation. Thank you very much, and we are very grateful that you are able to join.
Yeah, thank you, Melissa. I got a question on whether we are going to share this recording with you guys. So the way we do it is we actually give it as a package. If you take up the treasure chest at the 1,800 shillings, then we should be able to share this recording with you as a bonus. That is how we structure it. So for those who might want the recording, it comes bundled with the treasure chest. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kenon. And once again, thank you all for joining this evening. Please spread the word about Mwalimu Biashara, and you can actually share the link to the treasure chest for people in your network that would be interested. Just give them the very simple link, programs.mwalimubiashara.com, and they will be able to join. So kindly fill out the form. Please click on that link, fill out the form, and we will be happy to hear from you. So just to mention again, we have these sessions every Sunday evening at 7. So please look out for communication, and please spread the word. We'll have this on our website, www.mwalimubiashara.com. In case you miss maybe the link will be able to direct you from there. Thank you once again, and have a good week. Thank you. Thank you, Joyce. We see your comment. We appreciate that. Thank you, Mercy. Thank you, Anand. Thanks, Caroline. It was great to have you all. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Stephen. We are glad the session was worthwhile. Thank you. Thanks, Geoffrey. We see your comment. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Jacinta.